Give me your opinion, your detailed analysis and opinion. Ronda Rousey losing.
Where do I start, man? Where do I start? I've usually I keep it in the back of my mind that all these fighters, they train really hard. Obviously, they don't want to be criticized. Obviously, like fighting game players will be criticized, and like they're playing games. They put a lot of hard work into it, but they're just playing games. There's no physical train every single day. They don't like blood, sweat, and tears and everything. So I'm very aware of that. So I'm not gonna like diss Ronda Rousey super hard or anything, but at the same time, like she's the most like well-known fighter because, and on top of that, she's a female, which is really hard, a really hard thing to do. So in a way, she knew what she was doing. She made these like brash statements on purpose so that she can get more attention. Of course, like it's like.
Are we talking about like the Mayweather shit?
Yeah, the Mayweather stuff as well. She said she can beat him as well. She would beat him in a street fight or MMA fight. Maybe not a boxing fight, but street rules she would take.
It's just part of the game, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's all fine. Like, I wish Street Fighter players did the same thing.
Yeah.
I have to be honest. I've never been so excited for a fighter to drop off because it's like a new door is opening now. Like the whole division is different. And and at the same time, you want to see if she's really going to come back after this loss. Like that's when champions are really proven. Or so they say, right? Like there's no such thing as a real undefeated person. Even Mayweather has lost his amateur fights, right? So it's interesting to see if because I don't know if you guys have seen the fight, but she just got outclassed. It's like she got perfected.
She looked like she looked like she didn't know the matchup. Like at all, to use that phrase. Like she really didn't. Like I don't know what it was because you mentioned a few things like the pressure of all the promotional stuff. She's so important to the promotion of the UFC. She's being rolled out at all these events. That has to have an effect on your concentration. It has to on your focus to the fight. So Holly Holm was just there training. Aiming, she's just aiming for Ronda. If you're female and you're in that weight bracket, you're aiming for Ronda. Like you're training for Ronda. Whether she can maintain it against all the other girls that she might have to go on and fight, or even against Ronda again, that's another thing. But she was just training for Ronda, whereas Ronda's just training each fight as it comes, whilst doing all the interviews, press junkets. Yeah, exactly. The films she's doing, all that sort of. It's a lot of pressure. But aside from all of that shit, she looked like she had no idea what she was doing against Holly Holm. She was chasing her around the ring. She wasn't closing the ring off. She was just circling. She was gassed after half a minute. Swinging wild punches with her chin in the air.
If you watch her fight, like before that, like. The only reason we didn't criticize her all that much is that her matches were too quick. They're like 16 seconds, right? Like you didn't have enough footage to actually see her. She beat the last girl. She was never pushed.
Yeah.
Sorry, say it again.
I was just gonna say, like, she beat the last girl with stand up. Like, she made a point.
Betch Kohea. I'm there. I'm the fucking encyclopedia right now.
Bete. It's like she KO'd her in 34 seconds. She actually even took her down and let her stand up again because she wanted to make a point, right, of I'm going to beat you with stand up. So I don't know, like maybe she wanted to make a point against Holly Holm as well and show her that she can beat her standing up. But Holly Holm's a world champion in striking. She's held boxing titles. She's a very accomplished kickboxer.
She trained 2020, right? Like we can totally say this like with clarity and like like we all knew it's gonna happen and stuff.
I didn't know it was gonna happen at all, but like after 30 seconds, I knew she was gonna lose because she looked like she had no idea what she was doing. She was gassed after 30 seconds as well, which is incredible because you see in all the videos how hard Ronda Rousey trains. Like you can't say she doesn't train hard. I know she trains hard. she looked like she was carrying a bit, like she looked bigger than she's ever looked. That's the only thing I'd say about her conditioning. So naturally, she might, like, her cardio might not be up to carrying all that weight.
She didn't look very chiseled.
No, she was carrying.
She's not chiseled in general, but she looked a lot.
She's put on muscle, and she doesn't look like she's lost body fat. So yeah, like, she's carrying a lot more. And like, you saw the weigh-in, she got really angry at the weigh-in. Obviously, Holly Holm got to her at the weigh-in. She said a lot of stuff. She came out like she wanted to just beat her up. Like, she didn't come out like she was fighting her in a professional bout. She looked like she wanted to beat her up.
Wow.
So
we have to show you the videos, man. And then as soon as this conversation is done, Shady's gonna get back on the MMA train.
yeah, that's beautiful.
And yeah, like, a lot of her technique and the striking wasn't there. Like, her hands weren't up, her chin was up. Like, she took a lot of left straights to the face coming in.
But like it's wild how high her chin is. It's like she's like raising it even or something. It's
like that. But that, you do that when you're just swinging wildly. Like, it's a natural thing. Like, you punch from back there, so your chin goes up in the air. But she's a professional fighter. She knows that stuff. Like, if you're with coaches, I don't know what would make a fight like that. Whether it's her, like, not paying attention to her team and any of her training just because she was so worked up. Because, like, she's an emotional, like, person. Like, that she's a fiery character. So she might have just wanted to go in there and just kick the shit out of her and not really do a proper professional fight. Just get her hands on her and punch her up. I don't know. Like, her team going into the second round, like, it's not like they calmed her down. She was still doing the same thing. If anything, her stand-up got worse because her hands dropped.
What do you think about the criticism that she's been getting about how her coach is not actually a good coach?
I don't think her situation there, like, aside from all the rumors about whether she's dating a coach and what have you, aside from all that, I think, she's in LA. She's not in a proper camp. Like, I don't think she's got the best coaches around her. Like, I'm pretty sure after this, Dana is going to come in and sort that shit out, because I think it's better for the UFC for Ronda to be the champion, because she's just incredibly marketable, really marketable.
She's on the new UFC.
Of course she is. She's
the
highest paid. She's the highest paid fighter in the company as a female. That's insane. Like,
wow.
Probably even the male fighters. Like,
I'm saying as a female, and she is the high. She's. I'm pretty sure I've read it in a few places that she's paid. She's got the highest contract, the biggest contract. I don't know. After McGregor punches up Aldo in a couple of weeks' time and becomes the undisputed champion, I think he'll probably be in there with a shout. But yeah, I know.
Do you want to bet a Street Fighter 5 beta key on that? I bet you Aldo's gonna win. I bet you it's gonna be just like Holly Holm. How we were like, oh, it made perfect sense. It made perfect sense. You mean he was just talking? That's crazy.
No, McGregor's different. His talk is different, man.
His talk is awesome. He's the best.
McGregor's great. But I'll happily bet you that McGregor will win that fight. I'll text you. I'll send you a Facebook message from the MGM Grand Arena after he knocks him out, with a nice selfie of me standing there, smiling.
Are you gonna be
there? Yeah, I told you I've got a ticket.
You motherfucker! I can't. Sorry. Potential sponsors. I couldn't hold that one back. Motherfucker, are you serious?
Yeah.